And I think we weren't the best friends of the neighbours. God, there were some funny stories about, like, I don't know, is that where you wanted to jump into?
Well, I mean, I think early on we really tried, you know. We weren't like inherently bad neighbours, I think. I think we were just immediately, I think the neighbours
Kids
probably
having the time of our lives, living in a bloody huge mansion, making videos for a living.
And I reckon that when all the neighbours saw a bunch of us, you know, younger people moving into this giant mansion next door, they were probably very on guard.
Yeah.
And I remember the first real incident we ran into, other than the $40 million versus $15 million house debate, was when we moved into the house, we decided, you know, we've all got a few friends in Sydney. Let's have a couple of people round and just have drinks, show them the house.
Gentle housewarming.
Actually, though, it was the gentlest of housewarmings. Literally, I think a total of 8 to 10 people came.
Yeah.
Total. Like 8. It wasn't a house party. It was a drinks, bit of food around the table. Let's show us the house. And I think that, you know, we wrapped up at 10 p.m., I remember, because we decided to all go into the city. So it was all the house stuff was wrapped up by 10 p.m. And anyway, yeah. Then the next day we get a call from the landlords again. And we're like, oh God, what is it this time? Did they re-up the value, their prospective value of the house? Do we need to change the title again? Because I can go do that. Because I remember I was like, mate, you want me to set it to 100 million? I'm just going to get more views, you know? Like, this is good for me. We can up the value. Cut me in. And we got that email, or it was a call from the landlord being like, what are you guys doing? And we were like, what happened? They were like, the neighbors told us everything. And we were like, what do you mean? And it was this one neighbor in particular. Basically, we had there was actually a government housing building on one side of the house. And, you know, they were obviously like not in this same thing, but it was the house that was kind of like in front of us that this always seemed to happen with. Get a call being like, the neighbors told us everything. And we were like, what do you mean? And they're like, that apparently you had a 100-person frat party last night. And we're like, what?
Music pumping till 3 a.m.
Music pumping till 3 a.m. I was like, whoa. Step back. Number one, everyone was gone by 10. Number two, did they say 100 people? And they literally sent me the screenshot of the message where the neighbor was like, between 60 and 100 people were at the house. You might want to like check what's going on with your tenants. And
Elliot
I literally,
I
screenshot the Facebook invite that was like 13 people invited, 8 people going, because, you know, not everyone wants to hang out. That's cool.
I remember having a meeting with them and being like, I think you're like grossly overestimating like the social lives that these guys have. I'm like,
I actually remember us making that point. It's like, guys, seriously, we're gamers. We sit inside all day. We don't go hard.
I'm literally like, all they do is sit in their rooms for 18 hours a day playing video games.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are not people. Like, I was like, I don't think any of them even know 100 people in Sydney, to be honest.
Yeah. But long story short, the neighbors were a recurring thing. You know, there was like the parking a car out the front of the house.
Oh, gosh.
They would have building trucks there all the time, and they would sometimes park their own car there. But whenever Baz parked his car there, it was treated like it was a crime of the highest degree. It was literally the front of the like you're allowed to park there.
Yeah.
Very explicitly, you are allowed to park there, but they would get really, really not happy. But